All right, gang, Coach Collins.
Hey guys.
Coach, Geoff was talking about the penalties when he was up here, and
Yep.
just kind of, I know he submitted a few of them, but when you were looking at the film, what were some of the common threads with those, or what do you feel can be done to rectify some?
Sure. Well, I think one of the biggest things, and it's a credit to how well our defensive line is playing, is teams are trying to do anything and everything to do to slow us down, and they got us a couple times with the hard count early on, so we got to get that addressed. Guys got to understand the situation they've placed themselves in because they've been having a couple pretty good games up front, and just trying to slow down the pass rush. So we've got to be very disciplined, very poised before the snap, understand what teams are going to try to do to us, and then anything that happens post snap. The big emphasis yesterday in the unit meeting was we make a play, celebrate with your teammates. We had a great goal line stand, and then we get the unsportsmanlike, so we have to have another great goal line stand. And I think one was plenty, but we were forced to go ahead and have two, but we went over that in detail. There was a lot of good things that we showed yesterday in the unit meeting, but every one of the penalties was pointed out with a big red dot circling the guy. So, we don't shy away from addressing it, and the guys know we love them, we care about them. We just want to play a great brand of football and show poise and class and all those kind of things pre and post snap.
Coach, it's now 2 straight games where the opposing team has had to go to its backup quarterback in the last stage of the game. Not saying you're out here headhunting or anything, but
Sure.
do you think that other teams are just maybe a little caught off guard at the level of physicality that you guys are bringing, especially along the front?
Yeah, just making a blanket statement. I think the defensive line is playing at a really, really high level. Obviously, have great talent, great players. The job that Ted Monachino's doing, Jimmy Lindsey, Cam Spence helping Coach Monachino out, and the guys just buying in everything that they're being taught, and they're playing really, really hard. And since we got here, we've talked about playing a lot of guys. And I think 12 or more defensive linemen played on Saturday, and in meaningful downs. And so we're just rolling the guys in, and the guys know that when they get their shot, they got to produce so they can continue to get reps, because there's so much depth, there's so much talent, and they're playing at such a high level. So obviously we never want any young man that's out in a game to ever get injured, but we just want to play at a very high level and play a very good brand of football.
Max said you were effusive in your praise of Kevin Hester,
was.
defensive players of the game.
Yeah.
What was it that made you think that was the best game that you ever played?
Well, I mean, it's just steadily, just the body of work that Kevin Hester puts out there every single day is impressive. Just his level of consistency. I mean, he is a physically dominant person in what we're asking him to do. And he was making plays. He was being very disruptive, building a wall up front. There was nowhere to run with the football. And then he was using all his finishing tools to get off and make plays. He's a quiet leader, but a very strong, powerful leader. And he's just a model of consistency. And, I think, not to speak too far in the future for him, but I think he's going to play a long time in this game, because he's got a great skill set. He's got the character, the demeanor, the attitude, the effort. All those things are really special.
We talked to Caleb Cost after the game tonight. He was very open about the adversity of the first few games.
Sure.
Some of the explosives.
Yep.
Is it can you gauge watching his growth where he sees those mistakes on film, goes out and applies improvement onto the field? Is that kind of a fascinating and fun thing to see with such a young,
Sure.
experienced player?
Yeah,
and how much growth did you see?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I think people forget that there's it's a twofold answer. This is Caleb Cost's 4th game playing college football, and didn't have a whole spring with us because he was doing a great job playing baseball with our championship team. But the other piece is that position is one of the hardest positions to play in college football. It's one of the hardest positions to play in the NFL. Like, you're on an island, but it's a lot of things that have to go there. A lot of our defense goes through that position. So he's got a lot on his plate, physically, mentally, all of those things combined. And I just see him consistently getting better. And one of my favorite things about Saturday was gave up an explosive, and he just, from then on, just cut it loose and just started being out there just playing with technique fundamentals. Had a couple of really nice pass breakups, had a great interception. I think he ended up with 8 tackles on the day, half sacks, tackles for loss. So it's just every single day he gets better because he's highly intelligent, he cares, he wants to be great, and I think Coach Warren's doing a great job. Fundamentals, technique, and just the mentality of that position, because you've got to have the skills of a corner, but you've got to have the physicality of a safety. And then there's times that, if you guys notice, he was in the box as a linebacker as well, so he has to do a lot of things in our scheme, and he's doing them very well.
When that position gets to the point where it's consistently at a fairly high level,
Yep.
how much does that affect what you can call?
Yeah, that position is really everything. And so everything goes with what that position can do. And there's certain things schematically that I've not been able to do at certain places because I've not had a star that can do all of them. So the things that we can do schematically are based on the skill set of that position. And we're blessed that Caleb Cost has all the tools in the toolbox that we need.
Jeff, what did it look like the other night? Central had the nice opening drive,
Sure.
75-yard drive.
Yep.
They really, had some good things working, and then the rest of the game, you sort of shut them down.
Sure.
I think it was 92 yards the rest of the game or something like
Sure.
that you gave up. What was that process like of correcting what you didn't like about the first drive, and then you sort of shut the door from there?
Sure, well, and I think my wife says it to me all the time. I probably should listen to her more than I do in this regard. But teams don't always do what they've done in the past when they roll up in here, when they play us. Yeah. So a lot of the things that we saw in those first couple of drives were unique things that we had not seen before. So we had to just drill down and make the adjustments, and got the guys caught up on the sidelines, and we got caught up, and we're able to play a really good game. Now, I think that's really happened the first 3 games. There's so much newness to the opening script, then you drill down on it, and then you're able to make the adjustments. And we've got a great set of assistant coaches, and the guys that are up in the press box do an amazing job with the communication, and the iPads have helped tremendously. So we're able to drill down on it and, get the things fixed, get them corrected, and then implement, I won't say a new game plan, but there's certain things that we might not have even practiced during the week that are in our Rolodex, and we're able to roll them out, and we've got great kids that can do it.
And you have to do that to be a good defense, right? To be able
Yes.
to change on the fly,
Yep.
assess, change on the fly,
Yep.
and don't let what's happening keep happening.
100%, and that's what we've been able to do, and hopefully we'll continue to build on that. And every single week we're able to add new tools to the toolbox and be able to roll them out.
How much snack adjustment is done on the fly versus like halftime adjustments?
I'd say it's a constant. If you guys watch us, it is a constant. Me and Ty McKenzie get in our pod, and we're watching the iPad. I'm talking to the guys up in the box. The entire time I'm talking to Coach Thig and Coach Monachino and Coach Warren and Coach Jones. They're making adjustments in real time. So it is a fluid process. In the past, without the iPads, I would just have to do it all. I don't have to do it all right now. So I'm able to sit there, laser focused on watching the iPad, and I can talk without having to be right there in the middle of it and talk each coach through it as they're talking the players through it as well. So it's been an amazing process.
How much does the helmet communication be able to further that on the
It's
fly?
okay. It's okay.
Doesn't matter.
That part's fine. The other part's amazing though.
I was gonna ask you about the goal line stands. Mike was talking about how some you don't really get to practice in
Right.
preseason. You almost have to prove it once the season
Sure.
starts, and it can build on itself. It
Right.
seems like if you have success.
Yeah, I think just the foundation, the fundamentals, the techniques, the base principles that we have within the scheme of our defense, and just applying them to whatever call has been beneficiary to us. And, I think we got maybe 3 goal line sessions during preseason camp, but I think we go 4 plays at most each time. So there might have been a total of 12 reps of preseason goal line work that were live. And then first 3 games, we've got a lot more than that. But I've just been really proud of the guys. We have a put the ball down mentality. It doesn't matter where the ball is placed. We have to get a stop. Doesn't matter if we're having to play 6 straight plays from the 2-yard line. It doesn't matter. That's where we are. We got to make the play. And I'm very proud of the guys that they have risen to those occasions, and we just got to continue to do that.
The personnel that you're using on those goal line packages, I'm trying to remember, we could go back and look, but I think it's like Kevin Hester, Josh Harris, and Travis Shaw.
It's pretty good, right? It's pretty good.
Well, but I'm saying, like, you have those three in together, right?
Yeah, and then sometimes Scoob's in there, and so, I mean, there were a bunch of guys rolling through.
Yeah, but I mean, when you go heavy, you can go heavy.
We can go heavy, yep. And we can go super heavy if we want to. We got depth and we got dudes, which is a blessing.
Talking about the depth, Mac, I asked Mac about quarterback and linebacker that
Sure.
played a full game on Saturday. What's been the challenge of getting the other guys up to speed there and trusting them to be able to sub Fuzzy,
Right.
you know?
And that's been a challenge, and we're working on that every single day. I think the front four, we've got an abundance of riches, so we're able to roll guys in that have age, they have experience, and they have depth. At some of the other positions, they're all young, so we're trying to layer in the moments that we can get them in, and then, still get them experience. And we'll continue to do that. And the things that we do during the week, Coach Brown has us do a ton of good on good work on Tuesdays, a ton of good on good work on Wednesdays. So they're getting that non-show team work during the week of practice as well. So that's accelerating their growth. And I was proud of the guys when they got in, played at a high level.
Chip was talking about how Corey Gaynor has really been a key guy on the coaching staff.
Sure.
Just 1 year removed from playing. With Kamen being out for at least a little bit, has he sort of taken on that role unofficially?
Absolutely. I've been very proud of how engaged Kamen is. He's like another coach on the field out of practice. He cares so much. He's so deeply invested in this place, and then his teammates next, and is doing a great job pouring into them. And I thought Jay Braun played really well on Saturday. I thought Tyler Thompson played really well on Saturday. And, eventually when Rucker's healthy, we've accelerated the growth of those two young players. And I've been proud that the moments have not been too big for them. And they've just stepped in when they had to and stepped up and made plays for us.
We talked with you last week a little bit about Travis Shaw, the weight loss, and some of the
Sure.
progress that you've seen. But the other day in the goal line, he had 2 straight plays. One, he just completely destroyed
Yes.
the play. When you go over that in film, you see him see what he did on film.
Right.
The way that belief in self can explode when seeing the things you guys have been telling him for so long
Right.
to do. How is that working with Travis?
Well, the cool thing is the trust that has been built up both sides, us to him, him to us, fundamentals, technique, and all those kind of things. And Travis, you guys know Travis has such a great personality and talks and says things. And like we're doing goal line maybe 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and we had a certain thing that we were doing and where we were directing him one way or the other. And Travis was getting a little bit frustrated because sometimes we were stunting him one way and the play's going the other way, but somebody else was making the play. And I could see the frustration. I'm like, Trav, you know what, man? What if in this, we just cut you loose and let you go straight ahead and you blow everything up? He goes, yeah, coach, I'd like to do that. And so that we've kind of changed the way we do things because of him. He's so disruptive. He plays with such good pad level and power and explosiveness. And now we just let him go wreck shop. And he goes and does it.
He did on that one play. Did he affect 3?
Oh, I think so, 100%, yeah.
Like,
Him and Des Evans, like we showed all 6 of those plays last night in the unit meeting, and it was hard to find who to put the green dot on because they were all doing really well. But one of my favorite plays of the entire game was we were running a field pressure. Travis is stunning into the boundary. He's kind of setting a pick for somebody else. Well, he sets the pick and gets a 3-yard tackle for a loss. It wasn't designed for him to be the one to make the play. It was designed for him to do it, use great technique fundamentals. But by doing so, he's the one who ended up making the play, which is pretty cool when those kind of things happen.
What do y'all say in there in the film review when he has made the play and he's flexing and flexing and flexing? I mean, he was posing big time the other night on the goal line.
Yeah. I think that's the last image of the unit meeting. So we have every unit meeting ends with a cool image from the previous game. And the one on the goal line stand, the first set of the goal line stand, him running down there and doing it. That's the picture that ends our meetings. And but the big key of yesterday's meeting, we're going to celebrate together. Like, let's get excited, let's have fun, but let's go find some teammates and celebrate together. We got to put the ball down and do it again. So that was the message yesterday.
Geoff, Jamie's leading last year, Coach Bedway obviously was here last
Yeah.
year. Excuse me, Coach, I guess what have you kind of seen from him in the early scouting? I guess have you been talking to some of the guys that were around him?
He was a big topic of conversation last night. Obviously, the guys are familiar with him, have a great deal of respect for him, like him a lot. Dynamic in the backfield, and then just when they move him out in different spots out in space, a lot of teams will do that, and it's just a decoy. When they do it with Petaway, I mean, it's real. I mean, he had that long touchdown right before the half against Charlotte. Other things out in space that he's doing. I mean, he's an impressive athlete, and everybody has a great deal of respect for him. Obviously, the coaching staff that knew him from last year, tremendous amount of respect for him. Like him as a kid, and really respect him as a player too.
You only have 2 games of film on them for this year
Yep.
with the new staff and everything. How much does it kind of help that they did play a team you guys faced?
I don't know about that piece of it, but just seeing it is good, and just the things that they've done at Holy Cross and the things that they've done the last 2 games. It's, not the complete package has made it down to JMU, but they're doing a lot of really good things on offense, and just the multiplicity of the things that they do formationally, with the personnel groupings, with the abundance of tight ends that they have and that they layer in their different packages, and where they rotate receivers and running backs. They line them up all over the field. Normally, teams have a Z, teams have an X, teams have a slot, teams have a running back. This is kind of positionless football. And they're moving guys around, and the same formation might be with a different personnel grouping, but there's similarities and differences what they're doing. So it's a challenge schematically to get ready for.
Sounds like a huge challenge for the star position, so you get to see a little more growth.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
And they've had an extra week too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, it sounds like you have a good relationship with Travis. I think Jamie's quarterback was his high school quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you talk to him about that? Or is that
I've not. You're the first one that's told me that. I did not know that.
Grimsley Worthless.
Yep.
In Greensboro, yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.